Welcome to the Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast with Wanda Pearson. I am so excited. This is a new year for goals, changes,
Yep.
and making sure you got your stuff together. So I'm excited to have my guest on, Lorraine Martin, who's going to tell you about your finances and how you can act financial, get your stuff together, which is very important because in these days, you got to make sure you have your legacy protected and have your finance protected. My Lorraine, say
That's
hello
right.
to the audience, Lorraine.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Yes, I'm so glad that we finally got to get a chance to do this
Yes.
and make sure that we connect people with you and also make sure that they get their stuff together. Let me tell you a little bit about Lorraine. I'm going to read her bio here. Lorraine is a financial advisor with over 15 years of experience in financial services industry. She specializes in helping individuals, families, and business owners achieve their financial goals through personalized financial planning and investment management. Throughout her career, Lorraine has been dedicated to providing clients with comprehensive financial advice, covering areas such as retirement planning, which is very important, tax strategies, estate planning, and risk management. Her client centric approach ensures that each financial plan is tailored to meet the unique needs and objectives of her clients. Lorena is a passionate about financial education and frequently conducts workshops and seminars to help individuals better understand and manage their finances. Lorraine, I appreciate that. And this is great. I appreciate it. We were just talking about how we're going to do a seminar
Yes,
to help people to
definitely.
get educated because I know my goal is to educate and empower people. You don't know what you don't know. So,
Exactly.
well, what you teach as far as the financial advice and how they can get that, make sure they are protected because you never know when them, maybe a single mom, it may be a married couple, it may be a grandparents, anybody needs that advice, even like our teenagers, right?
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
yeah,
they're never too young and you're certainly never too old. And then that
absolutely,
sweet spot are those in the middle, right? Who need us
absolutely,
the most. So
absolutely.
absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself, Lorraine, that I didn't mention here. Then we're gonna get into some questions I'm gonna ask you.
Okay. So some personal stuff, originally from Jamaica, lived in New York for a few years, have been in Georgia now for way longer than I've lived anywhere else. Mother of four, three adult daughters who between them have seven children. So I have seven grandchildren.
Um,
I love this space. I love the space that I'm in where I'm able to learn about money and finances, something that I did not always know about. I'm
mhm.
able to teach it to my close family, meaning my daughters, my kids, my grandkids, my other family members, and then take it out to the broader scope of people. So that's my passion, to bring that information to everybody and help them to implement that knowledge for themselves personally.
That's awesome, and we need to do that because you have six. I have seven. I have six grandchildren, and two
See, I
married
think I
adult.
won.
And I thank God that they're done.
I can't say the same, but hey.
No, they're done. Yeah, the husband said, "That's enough. I'm done."
Oh, that's funny.
So, but yeah, but there's having them. The good thing about it is being able to be that grandparent to them
Yes.
and being able to send them home. Okay, bye bye. Go back home with your mom and dad.
I
I love that
completely
part.
agree. Totally agree.
I love it. I'm like a young, well, they call me Nana. So I'm like a young Nana that I
Okay.
take them to places and do things with them. And I'm like the one, I'm not the one to sit in the chair and rock.
No, not
I
at
am a
all.
different Nana. So, but it told me, well, actually, my mother told me, my first grandson, he's 19. He should call you grandmother. I am not no grandmother. This is what I'm doing. 19. No, he can call me Nana. And that's what they call me. I'm
That's
Nana.
funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but no, we can love them, but also we can love them from afar.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right, let me ask you some questions here.
Sure.
What inspired you to become a wealth and money coach?
I previewed some of that because I grew up not knowing anything about money and financial concepts, right? And just to give you a little bit, I started out, we always had different little businesses, but as far as corporate is concerned, I started out as a claims adjuster with some big insurance companies and then I would see people whose claims would come across with like really bad coverage. I'm like, I can do better than that. So I went and got my license and became a sales agent with one of the big insurance companies again. And doing their life insurance, I started seeing, wait, there's more to this. What about their investments? What about debt? What about all of that? And so I mentioned it to a family member that I wanted to leave where I was to go explore more of this. And we were at my great nephew's christening, I think, or something like that. And she had just met this lady who was with my current company. And she's, that lady over there does what you've been talking about. And so I went and spoke with her. That was almost 14 years ago that I went and spoke with her and realized that I can impact not just my life, but the lives of the people close to me and the lives of the greater community. Because I started to realize if I didn't know these things, the people like me don't know these things either. And so that really was the impetus for me to get started here and what's kept me here doing what I've been doing for the last 14, 15 years.
I was going to ask you, how long have you been doing that with this
Yeah.
company?
Yeah.
14, 15 years. Okay.
With this company 14 years, but I was with an insurance company, actually more than that now, because I was there for almost 3 years. So a total of about 17 years I've been in this space.
Okay. That's great. And you may have already said this, but I wanted to ask you this. What's the most significant lesson you learned about money through your career?
Oh, wow. The most significant lesson I've learned, it's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make. I would use as an example the fact that if somebody makes $1 million, but their lifestyle has them spending 1.2 million, they'll always be broke, right? But if you make $50,000 and you've figured out how to live on 40, which means you can set aside $10,000 every year, you can become wealthy. So that lesson being, don't worry about, yes, you want to worry about what you make. You want to maximize what you make, right? But getting wealthy is not about so much about what you make, but what you do with it.
I love that. I love that. And that is so true. So,
Mhm.
how do your personal experiences shape the way you coach others?
Ah, knowing that every financial mistake that you could probably ever make, I made it. I did it, right? And so my approach to people is that take the shame out of it, right? That's my approach, to take the shame out of it, because I want them to realize that you are not the only one who's done this. You're not the only one who is doing it. I've probably done it, and many other people like you have already done it as well. So that just helps to remove that stigma, remove that shame. And I use the analogy of pulling off the band-aid, pulling off the bandage. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna say ouch, but then the healing can start from there. So that's one of the biggest that I always talk about.
Yeah, I love that because I know working at my company I retired from 2008. You know what happened in
Mhm.
2008?
Yes. Yep.
I didn't know nothing about investment, but I know I had my money in there and I lost $55,000.
Ouch.
That was a big ouch, a big,
Yes.
I was about
Yes.
crying. Oh my God, how am I going to
Yeah.
get this back? I
Mhm.
waited and they said, never pull it out, just wait for it to
Exactly.
come back.
Ooh.
And it came back, thank God. But I got me my financial advisor. He actually helped me to
Yes.
put the. But I told him, I said, whatever you do, I don't care if I don't want to lose no money. So put it
Yeah.
in a secure
Yeah.
fund that I know I'm not going to lose any money. So he did that, and thank God I've been actually living off of that as far as a monthly, but
Yes.
also still have money in there. So it makes a
Yeah.
difference, and definitely,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely talk to Lorraine about that because you got to make sure
Yes.
the right plans.
It is such a big deal. I'm so glad you say that because you'll hear, and I know you didn't ask me this question, but I'm going to volunteer this piece of
Yes, please
information.
do.
So many times you'll hear people say that they lost money with their investments, and not to say you can't lose money, but more often than not, what happened is when the market went down, they
Mhm.
pulled their money out.
Yeah.
And that is the one surefire way to lose money, right?
Mhm.
Because you hear the analogy all the time, buy high and sell low. But
Mhm.
when the market goes down and you sell, you've done the opposite of what you've always heard.
Mhm.
You've sold low.
Mhm.
So that what they should do is what you did. And thankfully, your financial advisor, you trusted him or her enough to have them walk you through what the right thing is to do. Because you can make money on your own. But a
Mhm.
lot of times, what you pay for the value of a financial advisor is to talk you down off the ledge, to not do the crazy stuff that you would do to cause you to lose money, which is what your financial advisor did for you. He
Yeah.
earned his keep. He earned his
Yes.
keep.
He did. He did because
That's a good
I
thing.
threatened him. Do not lose any of my money. But no,
Yeah.
it's all good. But yeah, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to be able to take that risk. It is a
Yeah.
risk, you know.
Mhm.
what you do there. And this is
Yeah.
actually when the housing market in 2008. Okay.
Yes.
That's when it fell the most. So let me ask you information about your background.
Mhm.
So what inspired you to become a wealth and money coach?
Yeah. So as I said, it's more so what I saw that I could do for me and what I could do for the people around me. The one of the reasons why I love meeting with people one-on-one now, don't get me wrong. But one of the reasons I love to do seminars is it's what you collapse time frames. You get to talk to a whole lot more people all at once and share that information. Now, anybody who is in sales or any aspect of sales, you don't necessarily close the sale on that first meeting, right? And so sometimes the people that I'm talking to, whether one-on-one or in a group, so they may be hearing this for the first time and they may take action this first time, but more people need to hear it a few more times. And so that's what pushes me. People will apologize sometimes if you're holding a seminar, only 5 or 10 people show up and they expected 50 or 100, right? And they would apologize, but I'm like, no, I am here for the long game. I'm here
Mhm.
for the long game to educate people. So that's the big thing for me. Education is a big deal. I don't know if you remember the store many years ago here in Georgia. Their tagline was an educated consumer is our best customer. And I embody that. I embody that. When I've educated my clients or prospective clients, they become the best consumer, the best client for me because they know that they can trust what I've told them and they can take action on it. So those are the biggies that got me into wealth and money coaching.
And I love that because I do coaching as well, but with our business. But I actually went to networking events.
Yes.
And what I did, I educated people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I educated people, you go back and like you said, it's not on the first try, but you go back, but they remember,
Yes.
oh yeah, and they refer me. Oh yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
have Wanda's, and even some of the ones that's already been in the bit in the business, they say, how can I come out of that one and go with you? Because I've taught them
Oh,
a lot of things that the other person who signed them up did not
did
tell them.
not share.
So
Mm-hmm.
education is key
Yep.
to know
Mm-hmm.
what you're getting. And I tell people, I give out pamphlets. My husband said, "You're giving away too many papers." I said, "Well, I like to look at what I'm buying too. So I
Yeah.
want to sure
Yeah.
my clients or prospects are looking at the same thing." So
Mm-hmm.
that is so true, though. No, I love that. So,
Yes.
how do your personal experiences shape the way you coach others?
Yeah, knowing that I've been there, knowing that I've been there, I've done that. And I expect that the other people that I'm encountering have done some of the stuff that I've done. For example, blowing your 401k when you change jobs, right? I know I'm not the only one because I know at least twice I blew thousands of dollars in my 401k that I should have rolled over to an IRA or should have moved to the new jobs 401k, and I didn't. And I
Mhm.
know I'm not the only one who did that, right? So that kind of stuff is why I know people need what I do because I did all those things that I now know I should not have done. And so
Yeah.
sometimes I'm talking to folks after they've already done that, but I'm like, next time you're not. You're going to call me next time. And believe it or not, they are calling. Okay, I'm changing jobs. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You learn from experience, and from your mistakes, you can
Absolutely.
help others make sure they don't make those
Yes.
mistakes. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, but no, you're
Absolutely.
right because I didn't realize. In fact, I'm gonna tell you, I work for IBM,
Hmm.
and I didn't know nothing about 401k. And
Hmm.
one of my friends at IBM, he said, "Do you have a 4?" I said, "No, what's that?" This is when I was in my 20s. I didn't know what a 401k
Yeah.
was.
Right.
He said, "Why
Right.
not just take a percentage and just let them take it
Yeah.
out of your check?" And I said, "That was the best thing I could have done
Hmm.
because having that old pension plan with IBM, I was able to have my 401k,
Yes.
plus I had the pension plan, and that's not even
Yes.
around anymore. So,
Exactly.
and then
Yep.
my financial advisor rolled it over to an IRA, and that's how
Yes.
I can actually do my monthly payments that come out of there, you know.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I'm still earning money because of the interest that you
Absolutely.
get from that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's still your thumber, but I just want to tell you about
No,
my.
no, but you know what? It's one thing coming from me, who
Mhm.
is just spitting words.
Mhm.
It's coming from you, from your lived experience.
Yes.
That's valuable that
Yeah.
somebody can hear it and know that is, they have that in their possibility as well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm just spitting words out. You're speaking your truth, your lived experience. So that's a big deal. That's a
Oh
big,
yeah, it was a lived experience, and I'm so
yes.
happy by losing that 55,000.
Yeah.
I stayed with it, and it
Hmm.
brought my 401k back up even more.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's what. But I mean, I didn't deal just with real
So
estate.
You've, and I'm probably jumping ahead. I'm not quite sure what question you have, but
Mhm,
throughout our lifetime, our relationship with money and investments change.
mhm,
So when we're younger, you talk about your 20s when you started your 401k, that's
mhm.
your accumulation phase. When your money went down in 2008, you were in your preservation phase. And
Yep.
so your advisor saw fit to do whatever you did so you didn't lose anymore. And
Mhm,
now you're
mhm.
in your distribution phase where you're living off of
Yes,
your paycheck, right?
yes, yes,
So we
yes,
all, there are different phases of our lives. When we're younger, we're accumulating. When we're in that mid-range, about to retire, but not yet retired, you want to preserve what you accumulated. And
yes.
then when you get older and you've stopped working, now you're providing your own paycheck with your distribution. So
Absolutely.
you've in just a few words, Wanda, you've described the three phases that I talk to people about the life
Okay.
of their investments, the
Yeah,
life of
yeah,
their retirement planning. So
yeah.
thank you for that.
And that's so true because a lot of times people take their 4 and borrow from their 401k.
Mm-hmm.
They borrow from their 4 and it's going down. Like my husband,
Mm-hmm.
he did that. He borrowed from the 401k. By the time he retired, you have very little left in your 401k.
You robbed yourself. You're
What
robbing
are you
yourself.
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I say it's better to pay yourself back than
Mm-hmm.
pay someone else back. So
Yes.
that was a good thing about it. Even like with the loans that I had, I paid myself back. It went back
Yes.
into my 401k. So that made a big difference
Mm-hmm.
there. So yeah, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, we're winding down here because
I
there's
know.
so much that we can
I
talk about.
know.
That's why we're doing a seminar. We're gonna do a seminar, y'all. So you stay tuned for the seminar. So so what's one myth about wealth building that you wish more people understood?
Oh my gosh. There's so many. Let me think. The one myth that you have to make a lot of money to have financial security. You
Mhm.
don't.
Nope.
Like I alluded to before, you don't have to make a whole lot of money. You just have to be disciplined, right? You
Mhm.
can't live beyond your means. You have to be disciplined. You have to stay the course. You have to be patient. Yeah, it's all well and good to win the lotto, but
Mhm.
you can plot away. If you start putting aside $100 a month, say at age 25,
Mhm.
if you did that for 40 years, you can retire with $1 million. You
Wow.
absolutely can, right?
Mhm.
Yes, you're probably not going to do $100 for the rest of your life because as your paycheck increases, you can increase that too. But you don't have to make a lot of money to retire with dignity and with $1 million. That's a myth I want people to know. Scratch it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And I wish I had did that when I was in my 20s. I mean, I did the 401k in my 20s. At least I started somewhere, right?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, especially if I had did that $100 a month saving, but you gotta pay your
Mhm.
bills and then you forget to put that $100 up. If I didn't then my 20s, you mean I would have been a millionaire
You
by
could
now?
have been. Yeah. Yep. I'm telling you. So and I know we're winding now, but let me just say this. When I talk about retirement planning, it's not the only thing I do, but it's the piece that everybody loves to talk about, that
Mhm.
pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But
Yeah.
there's so much that goes into being ready for that. One of them is having a budget. Because when
Yes.
you have a budget, then you can determine how much of it you're going to pay yourself and how much of what you're paying yourself is going towards your retirement, towards other things. Because paying yourself also includes having an emergency savings. You talk about going into your 401k, taking money out and all that stuff. And I know sometimes we have to do that. It may be for paying down on a house, or maybe for some really big things that you really needed to get done, or it was a matter of eating versus keeping that money in the 401k. I get it. But the other thing you want to talk about is having an emergency savings. So you're less likely to do that if you have emergency savings. The other thing is to make sure that you have life insurance, because if you have two people
Mhm.
putting their monies together, planning for retirement, God forbid something happens to one of them, you want to make sure money continues to come in so the family can continue their lifestyle and the surviving spouse can go to retirement the way they want to, right? And so the
Absolutely.
retirement is not going to be affected as much, and the kids can still go to college and you can still eat and pay the mortgage if you have life insurance taking care of that. The other thing you want to make sure, like Wanda talks about, having a will or a trust to make
Mhm.
sure that stuff that you've accumulated over all those years, that the
Yes.
government doesn't get it
Yes.
if you die without a will and
Mhm.
without a plan in place to what you want to happen to your assets, right? And then debt is the biggie. Debt kills more financial dreams than anything else. And so getting rid of debt as quickly as possible is also a biggie. And what I offer is the opportunity to put all those pieces together, create a plan so you can maximize your retirement by taking care of all these other things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that because when I retired, I took a portion of my um what I got from my being the lump sum from my being with my pension, and I still get a monthly pension.
Mhm.
I took a portion and paid off my car. So my
Mm,
financial advisor said, "Want to buy a new car that I was
yes.
going to retire."
I
get
see.
the highest interest rate. It doesn't matter. So
Oh, okay.
to get the lowest payment, especially while I'm still
Ah,
working. And what
okay.
I did, I paid off the car and I paid off my bills.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Yep.
I'm trying to redo that again. I need to pay off my bills again. So,
Okay. And I can help you with that. I have a free plan that I offer to folks to help them pay down their debt.
mm,
It costs me nothing, costs you nothing, and literally can help you get that done ASAP.
and
Yeah.
we need that now, especially
Yeah.
now with the new year,
Mhm.
January. You
Absolutely.
started off the right
Absolutely.
way
Yep.
to make sure that everyone contacts you to help you with that because a lot of people don't know how they're going to pay Peter to pay Paul.
It's a free
And
consultation. I
yeah,
talk to anybody. You're not obligated to do business with me once we're done either. But I just want to set people up for success, right? And
yes,
anything I can do to cause that to happen, to help that to happen, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here
yes,
for it.
yes. We've been having so much fun here, but I'm gonna wind it down because, like I said, I got a lot more questions to ask you. So, what are some of the financial habits every business owner should adopt today?
Pay themselves.
You're talking about me. I need to pay myself.
No, because I have so many clients and I will not get because I don't know enough about this as to how you're structured. If you're taking a draw, if you're taking a paycheck, if you're W-2, 1099, there's so many different ways. That's a conversation to have with your CPA or your accountant. But so many business owners are not consistently paying themselves and therefore they aren't able to create a plan like I'm suggesting because you need a paycheck to be able to do that. You can't just, and then they talk about mingling. Again, that's a legal or accounting thing. You don't want to be doing that because you
Mhm.
expose yourself to all kinds of stuff when you do that as well. But a lot of business owners do not have a structure or a process in place to pay themselves because when you're paying yourself is when I can create that plan for you because that paycheck, no matter what it is, I have guys whose business are doing hundreds of $1,000s a year and they pay themselves $2,500 a month. And that's fine because a lot of the other stuff are taken care of inside of the business. But just being able to pay yourself and being able to see something for it that you can set aside because they're not planning for the future. They're not doing that planning to say how and when they're going to sell the business, how and when they're going to get out, what they're going to have in place for retirement. Because that's one of the biggest with business owners. They minimize their income to minimize their taxes thereby minimizing their social security. And at the same time, they're not investing for retirement. So
Yeah.
they get to age 50, 60, 70. And yes, they had a good life while they had the business, but have basically nothing to show for it at this point. They plan to sell the business, but sometimes they get sick before they get sell the business. The business declines, there's nothing to sell, and there's nothing to show for all those years. So pay yourself
Mhm.
and out of it, set yourself up for retirement.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that because that is so true. So, how do you help clients overcome fear over shame about money,
Yeah,
around
just
money?
letting they're not the only ones. Just letting them know you are
Mhm.
not the only. You might. What is this? That song that says "You're so vain." I bet you think the song is about you. It's not just about you. You are not the only one,
I
right?
remember this. I'm singing that song in my head.
Really?
Yeah, you think that? Yeah, so, yeah. I'm singing it in my head, but I'm not gonna sing it to you here. So,
No, it's not just about you, my dear. It's not just about you, sir. Most people have done what you're doing and have done, and yeah, it's just a matter of recognizing it and getting up and moving on from there. I don't want to say it's not that big a deal, but it really is not that big a deal because so many people have done it and are doing it. It's
absolutely,
just face it
absolutely.
and get over it.
So we're winding down, and I want to make sure we can call to action here. What's the most impactful success story from one of your clients?
Mm. I actually have two, right? Two
Okay.
different age ranges. So one, and I'm make it real quick, young couple that I met with, they were a referral from a family member. And I love to talk about the fact that they were my most coachable clients. They did all the things that I suggested for them to do. They got the life insurance. They started the investments. They had a business. I'm actually now talking to them about getting a 401k for their employees and we did the college saving for the kids and all of that stuff, right? So I
Okay.
love their story. I love their story. They've done all the things that I've recommended and suggested for them to do. Oh, they had started their Roth IRA with me years ago, but now they're looking to get bigger. They're making way more money now, so they're looking to throw some big money into their 401k, right? So that's the young couple. An
Mhm.
older couple, they were one of my first clients when I got started as well. And I went and did their life insurance policy. And as I'm delivering, and I'm brand new at this, I'm delivering their policy and the things they're saying to me, I'm like, I know we talk about those things. I know I can help them with this stuff, but I don't know enough to tell them. So I basically said to them, look, the stuff you're saying to me, I know you need more. Can I come back with my trainer? And man, we sat down and we did their plan. He basically had said that he wants his wife to retire at 67, but
Mhm,
he's going to work for the rest of his life because he didn't see how he could get out from his debt and have enough saved for retirement.
mhm.
The plan I created for them, they would be debt free in 12 years, which would have him retiring at 69 debt free with over $500,000 of debt that they were in. They had student loans from the kids. They had a relatively new house. They had loans and car notes and all that stuff. And so they would be debt free. And as a matter of fact, she retired already. And he's on the verge to go retire the next year or two. So those are two of my biggies. The young couple in their 20s who are now in their 30s, and my older couple who started out with me in their late 50s and are now late 60s going into 70, about to retire debt free. So I love those two.
Those are some great stories, I tell you. So, audience, so you see who you need to contact because this lady knows her stuff. So, where can listeners learn more about you or work with you? Give us your
Sure.
information there.
Yeah. So my cell phone number, best way to reach me, 678-637-4219. Again, 678-637-4219. You can text me, you can call me. I respond to text messages like that. I do have a website. I have Instagram and Facebook. I will send those to Wanda and she can add them in as she sees fit. But yeah, just call or text me to start with, and we can go from there. My signature, reply signature, usually has my email address in there as well too. So that's the best way to reach me right now.
That's awesome. So that's going to be in the show notes for the people to
Yeah.
get in contact with you. But
Thank you.
Lorraine, thank you so much for being on the Ready Set Collaborate podcast. I have
Thank
learned, well, we had a conversation because I shared my experiences with
Yes, for
what,
sure.
what I've been through and how I actually got
Yeah.
through it. And I retired at 60. Yeah, I didn't have the age, but I said, okay, thank God I was able to retire at
Yeah.
60
Yeah.
because of my
Yeah.
old pension plan and having that 401k and the financial stability to do this.
Mhm.
Because I asked my
Abs-
financial advisor, can I just leave now? I had
Yeah.
36 years
Yeah.
of IBM. And
Yeah.
then I had the lump sum medical. So I had the
Mhm.
medical as well,
Ah,
ended,
okay.
this past year,
Oh,
December 31st, but they put it they put money into the pocket where I just deducted it and I got back
okay.
my Medicare costs.
Gotcha.
Having access to that, and I tell you that was one of the best. God
Yeah.
has just blessed me with that. And then I said, okay, Lord, can I retire now? And I did. And now this is what I'm doing. I'm out
Yeah.
here.
So I'm just going to tell real quick, retirement is a number, but it's not the one you think. Retirement is not about age.
Yes.
Retirement is about money, right?
Yeah.
So if you have enough money at 60, like Wanda does, you can retire. But if you don't have enough money at 80, can you really retire?
Mm,
That's the
yeah.
question.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
question.
So you should be able to enjoy your life, not at
Definitely.
a older age, because then and a lot of people that retired from IBM was older, they retired and they died. So this is where you need to make sure you have your stuff in order,
Yes.
and
And I can definitely help you do that. Just
yeah,
in a
definitely.
row, get that
Well,
plan done.
Lorraine, thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you.
my podcast, and we're gonna have to do this again, and we're gonna definitely do
Yeah.
a seminar
You
to
definitely
help you
do that.
understand it more. But this is great to start off the new year,
Yes. Yes.
2025, and she
So
gave
many
some
people,
great
their
tips.
goals include money, and that's my biggie. If your goal includes money, let's talk. It's
Mhm.
free. Why wouldn't you take advantage of a free service?
Yeah.
It's free.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank
So,
you for
audience,
having me.
make sure you listen to Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast with Wanda Pearson. I'm on all podcast platforms and reach out to Lorraine where she can help you get your finances together, your life insurance, she's a financial advisor, so she can help you with all of that. So, thank you, Lorraine, for once again being
Yeah.
on my podcast.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.